Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 9th. Morning break. It is good to be back again today. Yesterday, of course, Nina Mayo. That was a fantastic show. If you have not seen that movie, you need to go and check that out. Thanks to Nina for being with us. By the way, she will be back after the first of the year. We're going to talk about a new movie she has coming out next year. So that's exciting stuff. Good things going on. Great coffee. Of course, the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. Hey, listen, when you check them out, remember use the promo code ATV10 when you order. And I've told you this over and over again. And it's true, though, is my wife was very much adamant about me getting a variety pack, getting all four of their main blends, their popular blends. And she was right. I mean, she nailed it. It has been one of those best choice things that we've done in a long time, because I got a chance to try all the different kinds. Now I'm a dark roast guy, and we've talked about that also here on the show, that I love a good dark roast coffee. But all their breakfast blend is incredible. It is really good stuff. You need to check it out. That is the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. Use the promo code ATV10. Get in on the new trend, which is small batch coffee. It is amazing. I get mine in whole bean, but you can also get it in ground or in K-cups. It's really cool. Our look in on our My Snacky look in cam. We are in Coldwater, Michigan, and it looks cold. We got nailed again. I kid you not. This is where this is starting to get to me now. Okay, listen, I complained. I teased about it. If you follow the Rob and Kristen show, I've teased about it a lot. By the way, check out a brand new episode tonight of the Rob and Kristen show. We are outside in very cold weather last week to tape a show for you. So that's how incredibly dedicated we are. But I kid about it up to this point. I will not kid about it anymore. Coldwater's probably an hour from me. And as you can tell, it's living up to its name right now, the my-snackies.com look-in cam. And it looks cold there. I'm not kidding you. It looks as cold as it is outside. Out this morning, scraping vehicles, getting ready for the day. And thanks to great folks at my-snackies.com. By the way, though, if you're going to order for Christmas, and they make great stocking stuffers, freeze-dried candy is super popular. You do need to order. Talk to Donnie and the great team there at my-snackies.com. Thank them for being a great sponsor on not only this show, but across our network. They have been fantastic. We love supporting a local Christian business, and they are in Kansas, and they do a fantastic job. And Donnie's going to be a part of some stuff. Donnie was on the show. Donnie's part of an idea that we're cooking with for the network. You'll be having to watch for that. So we know it's cold. We've established that. But did you know it's Lutefisk Day? Now, if you're not Scandinavian like I am, you may not even know what Lutefisk is. And that's okay. Us Scandinavian people don't like it either. And it is... it's fish, and it's just not good. It's basically cod, and I don't know who thought that was a good idea ever. Obviously, the Scandinavians did, Norwegians do it also, and I believe the Danish are on this day. It's Finland. Finland is the other. It's Norway, Sweden, and Finland that do this, and it's actually called Anna's Day, and it's Lutefisk Day, and you prepare your Lutefisk. The way my mom used to prepare it, as she would say, is she threw it in the garbage. I grew up in a family that was one of the things that did not go over. We did the pickled herring. Have you ever done that though? I think that's always kind of interesting. As I get older, I can understand why people liked it. Because it's kind of interesting. Herring has a different taste. So if you're going to do and celebrate the holiday season with your feeling of being Swedish try the pickled herring. It's my recommendation. And get some good club crackers. Do that with it. My dad used to put, and I don't know why, but that doesn't matter. But he would put mustard on his pickled herring. Uh, Never figured that one out. Still haven't figured that one out. That's kind of gross. Hey, listen, we talked about it a little bit with the My Snackies situation, but deadlines for gifts getting to you by the 24th or the 25th. Depends. When do you open your gifts, by the way? When do you open presents? We do like an extended thing in our family now. We do it on the 24th. Kristen and I do. We have Kristen's mom and dad over. Then the 25th, we go over to Kristen's mom and dad and open presents. And then the official Christmas of the Stanton family. And by the way, if you have missed any of the stuff on social media from some of the Stanton family games, you need to check out our social media and see the stuff. It is hilarious. Jerry does a great job coming up with some games and just super a lot of fun. But anyway, so we extended out. It's 27th, 28th. We'll be celebrating. So it's kind of almost a week for us. And you can't beat that. But if you're shopping, this is it. They basically have most places, including Nordstrom's and Macy's and those, really say you have till Friday to guarantee that it'll be there by the 24th, which makes a lot of sense. And the coffee is awesome today. We're going to have to ask Trudy. By the way, Dr. Trudy is going to be with us here in a couple of minutes. We're going to have to ask Dr. Trudy if she has had lutefisk. Why don't we do that? Hey, let's hit the break. 7 weeks coffee. When we come back in the morning break, we're going to ask Dr. Trudy if she's had lutefisk.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee. Remember, when you order, use the promo code ATV10. We appreciate them so very much. Another look in at Coldwater, Michigan, and the My Snackies look in cam. It looks cold, and that's live, and it looks cold. It looks cold and dark and dreary. Ugh. That looks terrible. But hey, what a great way to celebrate Lutefisk Day. And we're going to ask our guest today, Dr. Trudy. Dr. Trudy, have you had lutefisk?
I have to say I have not. I don't even think I know what it is.
It's a cod. It's basically a form of cod. And I thought maybe with your time in Europe that they'd have snuck it in on you, especially if you were over there during the holiday.
We were over there in the holidays, but I do not recall ever having anything like that.
Trust me, you'd remember it. For those of us that are Scandinavian, and my mother, I love her to death, but my mother thought I should experience that, even though she didn't like it, which I think is a form of abuse. I had lutefisk when I was little, and it's super funny because everybody gets confused. There's a pastry type called lefse. Now, lefse is good. If you want, it kind of tastes like a thin rolled cinnamon roll. Lutefisk, not good. It's fish. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So just so you know, keep those things in mind, because everything in Swedish, in Scandinavian, Norwegian, and Finnish all kind of sound similar. Be careful though, if you're at somebody's house, make sure they're saying lefse, not lutefisk, because and especially if you're me and say, oh yeah, bring me a good sized plate of that, and you find out it's good fisk, and it's not
You
nearly
know,
as good as left side. So how
my
have you
dad did that
been?
with liver, Rob, though. My dad would want me to try liver. You've got to try, he loved it. And so when he had it for dinner, like he was like, you have to try it. It was so gross. So gross.
No, but so then if your dad liked liver, did he like liverwurst? That kind of a spread, liver
Oh
spread
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, 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 yeah,
My
yeah. It
dad
was so
liked that too. I swear I think that was like you couldn't cover that in enough mayonnaise and mustard to make it taste good. That
no,
was nasty stuff. Mm.
it was so gross. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we can shake that off and move on. How have you been?
I have been well. I'm good. My son and I just did this crazy ultra trail run last weekend, and I'm sore. My legs hurt. But we both came in second in our age group, so we
That's
were
awesome.
very
So
pleased.
explain to them what a trail run is, because there are probably people out there that don't know. Explain what a trail run is.
Yeah, so we run through the woods and we run over creeks and we run over rocks and we slide down hills. It's pretty technical, it's a lot of. I think we climbed over 3,000 feet. It was a 3,000 feet of elevation. So we're just going up, 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 and then obviously what goes up has to come down. And it's harder going down than it is going up, just because of the rocks and trying to maneuver. And then we were at Amicalola Falls, which is a beautiful state park in Atlanta or in Georgia. And so we had to run up 400, not 400 stairs, like 300 and something stairs as part of the course. But it was fun.
See, and I think what makes that running different and kind of interesting is it's not always the fastest, it's the most technical runner.
Yes.
Really, because like you said, you're running through a creek and there's like a thought process. You're not just running in a straight line, or like a marathon where you're running a course
Right.
where it's really clean course. This is kind of it's very cool. You need to check it out. So I got a couple questions, because we've been doing that now where we ask in the app. So we're asking Dr. Trudy a couple of questions. So here's question number one.
Okay.
These are holiday related questions, which I think are always kind of interesting. And I want to get your take. And we asked this. The first question is, they asked Dr. Trudy, they said, Dr. Trudy, we're in a situation where, how do they, and I'm going to paraphrase this because it's a neat long email, but I'm going to paraphrase it and say, their question is, how do they handle Christmas Day where their parents are separated, but they want both their parents to come over and see the grandchildren? What is your suggestion on that? How do they deal with it in a way that makes it comfortable for both? And I think what her real point is, how do you grade how one parent they can't or they shouldn't be there during the time? How do you go about that?
That is hard, but you have to think, okay, we're all adults, if we are all adults, right? And if they're not on speaking terms, but there are families who are divorced that are on pretty good speaking terms that can spend the holidays together, even though they're divorced. But if they're not on good speaking terms, then I think always honesty is the best policy. I have mom coming from 10 to 2, and dad, if you can come from 4 to 6, or just make sure you put those boundaries and those guidelines. But tiptoeing around it, we've all had to walk on eggshells at some point in our life on holidays, but I think be the bigger person. Make sure you set those boundaries and speak truth, but make sure you speak it in love. And if the one parent can't come at a certain time, then just say, this is how we've set the day. So if it doesn't work today, then I'll see you, tomorrow. But make sure those boundaries are in place, because if they don't know the boundary, then they're going to overstep their boundaries. And some people, even if they do know their boundaries, they're going to try to overstep them. But you, at your household, you have to set those boundaries and be firm. Does that make sense?
Oh, completely. And that leads into the next question. Is kind of interesting. This one, this person is dealing now. They're post divorce, and they are going to be alone for the holidays. And she asked, she asked you, not me, because I wouldn't be the person to answer this question, but she said, what, Dr. Trudy, what would be some things that she should do to prepare herself mentally for a time where she's going to be alone? And from the way I read it's through the app. It was a question through the app. Is the first time in a long time that she will be alone for the holiday.
Yes, that's hard, Rob. I mean, really it is. Obviously know that there's going to be sadness, there's going to be tears, there's going to be grief, and to give herself the grace to go through every emotion of the loss, because it may be, you think about grief as someone who died, but it's a loss of a tradition of what you've always known. So let yourself go through the different stages of grief and give yourself grace. But then also, Rob, a great thing to do if you're, alone for the first time is to go out and serve. Go find a local ministry and, have your time of grieving, have your time of sadness, but then go back out and give, because there are so many hurting people in the world. And if we could just go and be the light for someone else, that helps heal our heart and heals our grief as well. So one, be gentle, be gracious, let yourself go through all the different stages of the grief, and then get out there and try to find someone to serve.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And I think that's something that, though this isn't a question, that I think that's something that you and I can talk about, even when there's a certain level that comes with the holiday that for even people that are married, people that, because you look back and Chris and I had this conversation yesterday, so I'll bring it to my context. My mom passed away October of last year. So last year was kind of numb. It was like a numb holiday for me. I didn't feel as much of the miss as I do now. This year has been tougher in that sense for me than last year was, because I think it was so close to Christmas. We were already into the Christmas mode. And so it kind of felt that way. This year I've had the time, and it's kind of a tough thing. And I think that there are a lot of people out there struggling with that. Give those people, including me, some advice as to what to do to kind of, and I know we have to deal with it, but what are some of the things that we can do to kind of deal with it?
I know, Rob, I'm going through the same thing. My dad died in June last year, and I was kind of numb through the holidays. And a lot of times they say the second year and the third year is even harder than the first, because you're just numb and you're kind of going through the motions. But again, I think we embrace those emotions. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to miss them. It's okay to scream or whatever those emotions are. But then celebrate the good times. I think about all the good times. My dad loved Christmas, and what he loved to do at Christmas is to give to the little kids. And when I was in the ministry with the Christian View for a long time, we would go downtown and we would give to the children. And this year, Rob, I didn't have the energy for other things going on in my life. And so I had a relative reach out to me, and they're like, I want to give in honor of your dad to 4 kids. What age group would you like? And so they honored my dad and honored me. And so I just think finding people to come alongside of you, to just lift you up, because we're not supposed to do life alone. And to be real, Rob, because it is a hard season, and we can be in a room full of people and feel lonely. And so to acknowledge those feelings, to have a safe place, like you have your wife, she's a safe place to say, what, I'm feeling alone, feeling lonely, I'm feeling sad, embracing those emotions with somebody to walk alongside of you, and then celebrate the loved one and find a tradition that they loved and do it in their honor.
And I love that. That is a great idea. And that is something that we've done this year already. And it's a tough season. And I think a lot of it is we look at, and social media has a big play in this, don't you think?
Oh,
you're looking at everybody and they're like super happy doing all these super cool things. And you're going, I just feel like, I'm surviving. I'm in, I'm paddling as fast as I can mode.
And most people, Rob, are they're in that stage, they're in that season, they're surviving. Facebook it's great for some things, but what do they call it? Fake book, because we're putting our best self forward. And we're not saying what's going on behind the scenes. And people, they say 95% of people walk around wearing a mask. They're pretending to be somebody they're not, because they're afraid if they let people know what's really going on in their lives, that they're going to be rejected, they're going to be looked down upon, And so we walk around with this fake persona when we're really hurting inside. And that's why I was like, you have a safe place with your wife. And for those listening, if they don't have a safe place, find a pastor, a counselor, someone to talk to, so that you can have that safe place, because the enemy loves isolation. He loves for us to feel like we're the only people going through the pain, going through the sorrow, going through the loneliness, because then we become ineffective, and he loves to keep us hidden. And so find that safe person during this holiday season. It's so important.
I heard a pastor yesterday say that the devil succeeds when he gets us in the delay. So a lot of times feeling lonely is a delay to what we are doing, as in ministry, and everyone. And this is something I always want to stress is I believe everybody has a ministry. You may not be a full-time minister, but you have a place that God's called you to do something, like you said, giving out toys, doing something, helping someone. And I truly believe that. And I think that's kind of one of the important things that we need to talk about. Now, before we go for today, what's on Dr. Trudy's Christmas list this year? What is the one thing Dr. Trudy wants?
Oh, my goodness.
Say world peace, if you say world peace, I'm going to immediately disconnect you. You're done for the day.
What do I want, Rob? I want my studio lighting to just be set on the wall, so I don't have to keep scrambling. No, I really want an ice bath to put outside.
I'm not sure. Now, if I were 20 years younger, I would already be doing that.
Yeah.
But I have friends that do it, and I have watched their videos, and I've got, no. And I did it when I was an athlete, when I was younger.
Yeah.
I would, because they had those for us, and after a game or something. But goodness, at my age now, I'm just really not sure that my body would reject just getting in. We were talking earlier in the show, probably, I think just as you were getting ready to get on, we were talking about the fact that, like, I'm good with snow now, because I've teased on the show, on the show I do with my wife every week on the network, and I've been teasing her about, Ohio's supposed to be this place that's cold. We hadn't had snow. We'd had maybe a couple inches here and there. In fact, Seattle had more snow over the last 3 years than where we live in Ohio. Well, that's all changed. We've had the most snow we've ever had in December already. And it's the 9th in history. We broke the record yesterday. It snowed this morning. It's going to snow all week.
Wow.
But the sad
You're
part,
have a white
what always
Christmas.
happens. No, that's the sad part. Here's what's coming. It's going to warm up next week. It's going to be in the 50s. It's going to look like mud outside. And then we'll get into Christmas season. So, yep, that's what's happening. But no, I think that it's tough. And when I ask the question of people about what they want for Christmas, it's tough as we get older, because what do we really want? I mean,
we don't need anything. I don't need a thing. And there's really nothing that I really want either. I mean, we have a pool in our backyard, and it's pretty cold right now. And so last year I got in it as my ice bath. So I don't really, but I want to say, where the mind goes, the body will follow. So even though you're saying your body might not take it, if the mind can go there, the body will follow. So
I think maybe it's my mind too. Dr. Trudy with us again. Thank you so much for being with us. When we come back, my final thoughts after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy, a life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement. one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
The great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. Look in live at our My-Snackies look-in cam. We are in Coldwater, Michigan, and they are living up to the cold part, and that's snow. And yes, about an hour from where I live, and it's cold. It looks that snowy here in Ohio right now, but great folks at my-snackies.com and the look-in cam as we do that throughout the week. Hey, if you have a suggestion, I had somebody actually write, and we're looking for a webcam for their town in Texas. Did not find one this morning, but if you have an idea for a look-in cam, someplace that you live and you're watching the show and you want us to mention your town, we would love to do that. Just mention it and send it via the app. You can get us on our app. If you're watching on Abundant TV. If you're in social media, hit us on one of our social media platforms, and we would appreciate your input into the My-Snackies look-in cam. Wow, where does the time go? It's crazy. It goes by way too fast. By the way, gonna interesting thing. Couple things close us out on our my final thoughts for today thing. Real Christmas tree prices up this year. Have you noticed? And my question on this is, we haven't had a real Christmas tree in my house, even prior to being married to Kristen. Probably 2014 was the last time I had a live tree. Been a long time. Didn't know people still. I know it's still popular. But if you're going to do that, yeah, I guess the prices have gone up. It's unfortunate, and the big thing, according to the National Christmas Tree Association, seriously, there really is one, is that there was damage earlier in the year from heavy rains, heavy wind, and a lot of things. So the prices go up. They also said, the president of the association said, expect next year for the prices to drop again. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Hey, here's something that I was going to ask Trudy and I didn't get a chance to ask her is, have you used AI for your shopping assistant? I think it's kind of interesting. I've never thought of it, but AI is now surging. It says 1 in 4 people in the United States have used AI to help them find a Christmas gift this year. Interesting. I would have never thought of it, and I use AI on a regular basis. Interesting stuff. Another great show tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a part of what we do here. Hard to believe it's almost been 4 months that we've done the morning break. Thank you so much, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that you welcomed us in and have been a part of our Monday through Wednesday. And who knows, maybe going to Friday here, it could very well happen, probably after the first year. Anyway, we appreciate each and every one of you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, small woodland creatures. This has been the morning break. We will see you tomorrow.